Do you remember when we watched Wonder Woman 1984?
What about... And Mom ruined it by saying Weight Watchers?
Yep. Very disappointing. Very disappointed in you, Wonder Woman.
It really was not great. Like, it was like they were like, all right, we got approval for a second movie. We got the cast. We got the budget. Now, what should we write about?
That's like, literally what it was.
Guys!
It just seemed like it was one of those things where it was like, oh, one person has an idea. Oh, wait, Johnny said something over there. Quick, add that in. Oh, wait, the coffee guy said this. Let's do it. Oh, my goodness. Owie.
My favorite line was from you, where we were about, like, hour and a half in, and you're like, if she doesn't turn into Wonder Woman, I'm gonna lose it.
Okay, but actually, like, I don't understand. I don't get it. Isn't that the movie? What's going on?
And then they sprinkled in the invisible jet, and you were like, okay, invisible jet. Cool.
The best parts were the invisible jet, and when she did the lasso on the lightning bolt. That was
so cool.
Literally it. Oh, I like the beginning scene, too.
The little girl.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
I just wanted to bring that up because it's movie relevant, and I was disappointed.
Well, I don't know what gets people into Fargo besides Wonder Woman 2, but this is it.
At least Fargo had a plot.
Sisters who've seen it. We are the sisters who've seen it. Sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, sisters who've seen it.
Hey guys!
Hello!
How we doing?
Welcome back. I was going to say Happy New Year, but it's not. Now it's second week in January, so.
Did anything happen? It's 2021. Be quiet. Don't make a noise. Slow, steady.
I saw a meme where it was like, don't touch anything.
Are we all okay? Probably not.
I'm afraid. I'm scared. Well, I hope we're okay because we got a movie to talk. No, that was a weird accent.
Okay,
it's gonna be really difficult for me.
Well, you're good at accents, so I'm like shocked by this. But the old Bobby dear, don't you know, the no,
oh.
You're darn tootin'.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
There you go.
That was it.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
I know. I just feel like it's hard to say other words if I haven't already heard them being said.
Well, and our Jersey vowels it's like in direct opposition. We're like, hey, can we get some carrots? And they're like, carrots. Like, it's not at all the same.
I don't even know. I don't know. Well, our movie this week, listeners, is Fargo.
Hey!
That's their movie. Oh, and let's introduce ourselves. Oh, yeah. Imagine if I did the whole intro in the accent. There's no way.
I dream of that, but it really is hard.
We are...
That was good. That was really good.
Oh, I can't do it. I'm banding it. No, I can't do it. We are the Sisters Who've Seen It, the podcast where two sisters who are not movie critics look back on some of our favorites throughout the years through a psychological, ethical, and familial lens.
Yeah.
I'm Katie.
You darn tootin' you are. I'm Bridget.
Oh, for Pete's sake. Bridget. I just sound like I'm Irish. I don't know. Oh, yeah.
Oh, we're so bad at this.
Jeez, that's a good lead. There's a lot of good, very brief lines in this movie.
Yep.
So, yeah, Fargo. Do you know when this movie came out? Because
1996.
That's so interesting. 96.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, okay, so I didn't look up, but I felt like this is something I read, is I think in 1996, like a lot of the crime and action and like thrillers were like really big and over the top.
Okay.
And so that was what made this so different.
Yeah. And I think I said this at the end of last episode, but it's a Coen brothers.
The Coen brothers, yeah.
So this was like one of the first movies they made. I don't know if it was both, though, because I feel like I only saw the one guy's name.
Oh, I think it was both.
Now I gotta look it up, don't you know?
So you know what also was 1996, which we actually did a podcast on.
Oh, Jesus.
An episode, not a whole podcast. That was it. A lot.
Jingle All the Way?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, it wasn't?
sorry. I'm trying to give you a hint.
Oh, Home Alone 2?
No, sorry.
What?
Scream.
Oh, Scream. Jesus Christ, you did the Home Alone face. What? Oh, I should have known that. Shame on me. Shame on me. Oh, it is. Okay, so they were both the writers, but it looks like only one of them took credit for directing, which is confusing.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, it's such a different movie. Because it's not action. And it's not even mystery. And
it's just really
to
dark.
some degree, I guess it could be kind of like a thriller, but I don't know. It felt kind of different than the thrillers I'm used to, you know?
Yeah.
It's just more of a crime, drama, life thing.
With a sprinkle of comedy.
Yeah, I know, because there were some good lines.
Oh, hun, you got Arby's all over me.
It's just so
I sound
funny.
Irish too. Oh my god. Should I attempt a synopsis?
Oh my god, please do.
I'm so stressed out about this.
You can do it. I believe in you.
Okay. All right. So the movie is called Fargo. And I learned very quickly that most of the movie has nothing to do with Fargo, North Dakota.
Yeah.
Yep. Barnhart.
Wait, so why is that? I didn't even...
Because it was a catchy title. That was it. Literally.
Oh.
The whole movie starts in Fargo because William H. Macy, a.k.a. Jerry there. So Jerry's got this scheme. And let's give some backstory on Jerry. Jerry is working at a car dealership under his father-in-law who owns it.
Yeah.
And he is just always trying to come up with these. He's trying to be like the wealthy father-in-law. He's always trying to get to that next level and he's not there. So he comes up with this wild scheme where he basically steals a lot of money, kind of lying that he's going to buy these vehicles. So he needs to finance the money to buy these vehicles, but the vehicles are fake. So he's just going to keep the money, and that's the whole scheme. And he realizes that he's kind of in trouble because he has to start showing cash flow with the back and forth stuff. And this is where the heist comes in, where he's I want to ask my father-in-law, but he'll never give it to me. So I'm going to hire guys to kidnap my wife.
I hate it.
And hold her ransom for money. Now, these two guys, one of them being Steve Buscemi.
Love him.
He's a funny looking guy.
Oh my god, I know. Every time they said
He's
that, I was
funny looking.
Do you think that was in the script and they cast him based on that? Or was it? I don't know. I thought about that.
I don't know. He's a funny looking guy. And I am blanking on his
name was... Oh, jeez. I didn't even write his name. I just kept calling him Steve B.
Steve Buscemi, and then the other silent, really scary dude who's just quiet.
So
I can't think of his name. So, part of this is Jerry lives in Minnesota, and Bernhardt, am I saying that right?
I think so. That sounds correct.
That's where, what's the ox guy?
Paul Bunyan.
Home of Paul Bunyan. You see the statue there.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just this ice cold, desolate, I don't know about you, but I'm very sensitive. This is a terrible synopsis, so just stay with me. I'm very sensitive to ice scraping, or when ice cubes come out of the fridge and they scrape.
The sound.
This whole movie I was just cold watching it. I was Anyways, imagine that, people. And as we go on to this, the whole thing was, if you get her, I'm going to get $80,000, you'll get 40, I'll get 40, and by the way, you can have one of these cars, because this is part of my car heist scheme, and there we go, we'll go with the deal. Well, everything goes wrong.
Everything.
And first they try to kidnap her, and the whole house is a wreck, because by the way, they're just sloppy about it all. Am I right? What little sloppy slops?
The guy is standing in the open window, and the wife is in the room, and he doesn't see her. She's a foot away from the giant window, and then he breaks it. So
So bizarre. So they finally get the wife, they take her away, and as they're going far in the middle of nowhere, they basically get stopped by a cop because he didn't fix the tags, and then the cop gets killed, and then people saw that, so then they had to get killed. And it was just basically endless murders and endless cleaning up. And even when the exchange went, then the father-in-law gets involved. So William H. Macy can't just get the money himself, someone else comes involved, and that becomes another murder. And so it's just out of control. And meanwhile, the hero of this story is Frances McDormand.
Love her!
Who is this just, darn tootin' small town cop trying to do the right thing. And her little personality, I guess, is she's pregnant. Because I'll be honest, other than that, she was just a nice woman, and all she did was talk about how she was pregnant.
I feel like she was a little ambitious, but go on, we'll talk about
She
her.
was, but I felt like that was their way of like, isn't it crazy? She's pregnant.
Yeah.
So she's the one trying to chase it, and eventually she gets them and gets the killers in the end. But, one of Steve Buscemi, and this is probably the most famous scene, gets basically stuck into a woodchuck chipper. Woodchuck could?
Oh, for Pete's sake, Bridget, it's a wood chipper, yeah.
You're dark tootin', I got that wrong. So, literally, I think if you are in a mode where you're like, I am just kind of feeling meh, and I want something that feels like real and gritty and raw, like pop this baby in and just like zone out, because it is just it zeroes into the mundane and idiocracy of humanity in a way that is, I think, what the Coen brothers are like known for.
Yeah.
So that's probably terrible, but that's what I got.
I don't think that's terrible.
Okay. What do you got? What did I miss? I'm sure I missed a lot.
Well, I felt like one of the themes that was trying to be portrayed in the movie is to almost like appreciate what you have, even if it's simple, because
you're darn tootin'.
Well, even at the end, Frances McDormand is like, there's more to life than a little money. Don't you know that? And she's talking like the guy who literally doesn't speak at all, and he doesn't say anything. But I don't know, because like what? She ends up happy in the end, and she's the only one that like actually appreciated what she had, and it was just, I don't know, like her husband was just like cute with her, and wasn't like fancy. So
it's really dark.
Yeah, because like a lot of people die. And like,
okay, you know how in movies today, the lighting, the music, the dialogue, it kind of like preps you for like a death.
Yeah.
This movie, they just die.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, oh.
Like with the wife, where she's just like keeled over, and he's like, what happened to her? And the guy's like, I don't know, she was yelling. And like, but he doesn't answer the question. He just says she was yelling. And
do you think she was dead? Because I was like,
oh yeah.
Oh, she was dead. Okay.
I'm assuming it was because she was getting like gas fumes, because like they had her in front of the oven, and the oven is gas. So, like, she has a bag over her head, so she's just inhaling gas. So I just figured she, like, suffocated and died. And then, like, the father-in-law dies, gets shot. William H. Macy may not be dead, but is probably living a horrible life in prison. And then little Scotty is, like, a little orphan, basically.
Oh, my God. And, man, all we know about Scotty is he's a C student, and now he's got no parents.
I'm
going to tell you that. Gotta get good grades, because what a terrible message for Scotty.
He just wants to hang out at McDonald's and play hockey with his friends, and now he can't do that because his dad sucks.
Yeah.
So, way to go, Dad.
This was also a movie that made sense in 1996. Now, with cops and, like, police reform and just, like, I don't know if this would work now, because this movie is about, like, come on, cops, help us, and you could do it, cops, and let's go, police officer. Like, I don't know, it made sense at that time, I feel like.
Well, it's also, again, you think about how it ends. It's a cop. Mm-hmm. The guy's running away. She shoots him in the leg, which makes sense. Yeah. Now he's alive, and now we can arrest. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Very different from now. It shouldn't be.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seems like it kind of is.
Yep.
But at the same time, I don't know. I didn't dislike the cops in this.
No, that's what I'm saying. You like them. Well, some were idiots.
Yeah, some were like stupid. And she would even be like, hey, you're being dumb. And I'm like, why does she have to do all the work? She's pregnant. This is frustrating.
I'm pregnant. It's my personality.
She's pregnant, but like other people can do work too. What's happening? What's going on? And like even she would get woken up in the middle of the night with like all these phone calls. And I'm like, aren't there people already working at night? I'm very confused. Very confused about the dynamic.
Yeah, they don't have a good delegation system.
Yeah, like where's the like distinction between I'm at work, I'm at home, you know?
Mm-hmm,
Does she get to sleep ever? I don't know. Who knows?
You know, I'm thinking of Silence of the Lambs when she realizes, oh snap, I found the killer. I need backup. And Frances McDormand did the right thing. She was like, I found the car. Get your booties here.
Yeah.
I need some backup. Because a part of me, that guy was so big and so scary.
Yeah.
Silent Man. We're going to call him Silent Man for the rest of the episode.
That works for me.
And Silent Man is literally putting Steve Buscemi through a wood chipper. Ugh. And she's just like, hey, stop. Now, I didn't think this was normal of his character. I thought he would have attacked her.
I thought he would have too, but I guess because she had a gun, maybe that's why?
Yeah, but like, I thought he would have had like his axe near him or something. But I didn't understand, like, how did you get that big, giant, silent dude in the car and handcuffed, even with just a leg hurt? Because you're pregnant and littler and get out of here. But then I was like, oh, well, the people must have came. But then she was like in the car alone with him. So I didn't understand what was happening with that part.
Yeah, I don't know. There were a lot of parts where I was kind of like, I'm a little confused. Not like enough to not understand what's going on, but like a little confused, like how this got to there.
Like which ones?
Well, so even that when she's driving, and I know she's like, oh, okay, you know, I'm going home, driving. I can't do it. I just keep wanting to do like a cowboy. It's so offensive. I'm so sorry. She's like, I'm driving home. I'm driving past the lake. And it was the lake that like some other cop that I don't think we're supposed to really know got a tip from a guy that like the criminals might be there. But was she driving there to look for the criminals, or was she literally just going home?
She's like, I'm just going for a drive on Moose Lake.
But see, that was confusing because I was like, wait, why didn't anyone follow up with the lake thing? Because it seemed pretty easy. Like, she found them very easily. So I'm like, is it another scene to show like all the other cops suck except her? I'm not sure.
Maybe.
I don't know.
You're right. But, okay, so 1996, the patriarchy is rampant.
Always.
Stay with me. And I guess her husband at some point was a cop, right? It has that vibe that he used to be, because like they ate lunch together. And everyone's like, oh, hey. I think that he used to be a cop. I got this like vibe that...
Oh, I didn't feel that way.
Oh, I did. And so I think that like because she was working and he was just like painting, I felt like they had to like make her a little more... Oh, you're surrounded by these dumb guys. That's why you're the best of the best. And I'm like, she really just seems normal.
Yeah, I just felt like everyone else sucked. So, like, I guess she shined by being how people should be. I don't know. Or even when she gets to the crime scene and she's like, you know, asking for the info, and then the guy like tells her and she's like, all right, let's take a look. Mm-hmm. And he was like, okay. But like, he didn't look himself? I'm confused. Like it's like we're all standing around waiting for her to appear so she can make the like,
I don't know.
It was just like little things like that. I was kind of like, oh, got it. But okay.
Did you, this is a random tangent, but have you ever seen the show Trailer Park Boys?
Yes.
Oh my God, that one cop, I was like, you sound just like those Canadians at Trailer Park Boys. Oh. He's like, DLR plates. So we put a thing out for DLR. And she goes, well, do you think that means dealer? He was like, oh, that's a good idea. And I was like, this is like a Trailer Park Boys scene right now.
Oh my God, what was the name of the cop on that show?
Jim? Wasn't it like Jim?
I just remember he would always be yelling at Ricky. And it was really amazing.
I think it's Jim Leahy.
They were frenemies. Oh my God. Officer Leahy. I love it.
Julian, Ricky, and Bubbles.
Wow.
Okay, sorry. We're going down a different path.
I think I watched most of those seasons, but I don't think I actually ever finished. I should get on that. So funny.
Yeah. But okay, so let's talk about how the accent is somewhat offensive to Minnesotans because it was like kind of over the top.
I don't know because I really don't think I know any Minnesotans. You would know better than me, so.
I know some Minnesotans. I work with them, and like, I mean, you'll hear like a little twang every now and then, but not really. And now, I'm not going up to North Dakota, so I don't know anything about that, but I mean, most of this was in Minnesota, and I was like, get out of here.
I felt like the wife had the heaviest.
Oh my God.
Like, it was just.
It was so much. It was so bad.
Yeah, just. I felt so bad for her. She got like such the short end of the stick through this whole movie. It was very sad.
The only time we got a personality of her is she was like knitting, watching a show, and giggled. Yeah. And then we just saw her try to get away, and like they just like laughed at her. I was like,
she did have a good idea though to hide behind the shower curtain. I would not have thought of that, and I actually forgot that she was behind there because I was like, why are they doing this scene of like the guy staring in the mirror weirdly? And then I realized like, oh, she's behind the shower curtain, and he realized that, whatever. But so that was cool thinking, but it didn't work.
Yeah, and then I felt like the father-in-law, I mean, oh my God, what a dickhead. And his like little buddy was also the worst.
What was the buddy's name? Because they kept saying his name a lot. I have it written down somewhere.
Who is it?
Oh, I just have Jerry and Marge written everywhere. That's literally it.
Shep?
No, Shep was the mechanic that got him set up with these two guys. Which, okay, so that, too, that was another part where I was a little confused. So these two guys, Steve B and Silent Man, they don't know each other? Like, they just met? Because...
yeah.
How...
Yeah. Like, why are they teamed up together?
Yeah, like, that was confusing to me. I'm like, did Shep set this up? Did you guys, like, meet yourselves? I don't know what's happening. Because that was, like, a big part in the movie, too, where it was, like, they would disagree on certain things. Or, like, Steve B would talk a lot, and then Silent Man was like, I'm a silent man, shut up. And then Silent Man was, you know, a secret crazy person. And Steve B wasn't ready for that.
No, he was not.
And it was just weird. I mean, and it made sense for the chain of events because it probably wouldn't have been able to happen that way if maybe they knew each other. Mm-hmm. Things like that. I was like, what's going on?
Well, you needed a way for Jerry to know, because he was such a, like, I'm a suburban dad that sells cars, and I got kind of like, I'm trying to go bigger and better, and I just don't know. So, like, you had to figure out how is he going to then get connected to, like, criminals. And so Shep was like, you know, that was a good little segue to make that connection. But when Shep was like, I don't know those guys. I told you to go after this guy, not those guys. I don't know them. But then when he came and beat the crap out of him in the apartment, you're like, well, clearly he did. Maybe he was like, oh, crap, you picked them. Like, why wouldn't he have said that?
I just felt like everyone who was, like, a bad guy or a schemer was, like, very shifty.
Yes.
Because, like, Shep was like that, and then the two criminals were like that, and then even Jerry, who was like, yeah, I just want $80,000. But then really he was asking for, like, $1 million, but he didn't tell the criminals that. I love how in the beginning Steve B is like, Jerry, what's the matter with you? I'm confused. You're gonna get your wife kidnapped for $80,000? He's like, can't you just go ask your wife for $80,000? I was like, yes, Steve B, that's a good point. This seems like a stupid plan. But then you come to learn, oh, it's really way more than that. But he didn't want to tell them.
Okay, be honest. Did you, like, kind of like that the father-in-law got killed? Be honest.
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, me either. I'm not dark and weird like that.
Why did you dislike him so much?
He just...
Was it because he was all, like, business? Was there some business feelings happening between you and him?
No, I felt like, how do you not know that your son-in-law is such a lunatic that he's like taking out tons of money off of your company and is like coming to you for schemes and you keep like pushing him down? Like, how do you not know what's really happening? I was just annoyed by him not... It's like, you're so smart, but you're so arrogant that you don't know how to have stopped this. Like, you should have just called the cops.
He did call the cops, though, but he didn't tell Jerry that.
But when did he call the cops?
I think it was after he had already died. The cops knew that the wife got kidnapped. So he had told them.
I missed that.
And it was just like a quick line. It wasn't like a whole scene. But I'm pretty sure that happened because the cops then were saying like, oh, Mr. Lundergaard's wife was kidnapped. And I even think it was after Marge had talked to Jerry and then he drove away. I think it was like
such an idiot.
After all that. Oh my God, I know.
This whole thing was nobody had a plan.
No. Or like a good plan, that is.
Nobody had a good plan, and like, I don't understand how you're trying to like sell fake cars with fake VIN numbers that people can't read. It's like, you took $350,000. Of course they're going to read it. Like, was this your plan to like scribble VIN numbers?
So I think another thing that I didn't understand was like, okay, so he took out a loan for cars that didn't exist, right? Mm-hmm. But then what does he do with all the money? Like, where does that money go?
Well, he has to sell a car.
Yeah.
I thought it was all part of his, like, commission stuff.
Okay.
Is, like, one, getting people to, like, pay for cars themselves. But he didn't start that yet, because I thought they had to, like, unlock the money first.
Okay. So, because I guess I interpreted it as like he got all this money up front that then would be used to purchase new cars for the dealership, but you're saying...
It was through the company.
Yeah. Okay.
So, like, I thought those fake cars were him saying, these are sold. Give me that money. But I didn't get it either. I'll be honest. Now that I'm saying it out loud, I don't know what the hell's happening.
I don't know. Like, obviously he was, like, kind of Weasley, and he wanted a deal. So, like, okay, you want money. But I didn't understand why he wanted money. Because you seem like you're doing okay. Like, you have a house and a job. And he didn't talk about, like, oh, I'm in debt, like, millions of dollars. Or, like, we're losing the house. Like, I didn't get it. Like, I didn't understand why there was such a sense of urgency or why he was doing all this stuff.
Well, he bought the parking lot. That was, I thought, part of that, like, oh, here's the deal and here's the numbers and give me $750,000. I thought that was part of, like...
He didn't buy that yet, though, because remember he went to the father-in-law and he was like, I have this deal, and then the father-in-law was like, this is a great deal. What do you want for a finder's fee? And he was like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, we'll pay you money for telling us about this, but then we're gonna go do it, because we have money. And he's like, no, give me the money. And they're like, we're not a bank. And the guy kept saying, he's like, we're not a bank, Jerry. And I was like, yeah, Jerry, don't you know business? I'm not in business and I know they're not a bank. Business. Stupid. So, like, I just wish we got a little more motivation on why he's going to this extreme stuff. Like, if they had been like, oh, he's in so much debt, or we're gonna lose the house, or like something. Like, I just didn't feel like the stakes were very high for him to then hire criminals and emotionally scar his wife / end up killing her in a cabin and leaving Scotty as an orphan. Scotty. He's an orphan.
That would be a bomb Coen movie. It's like Scotty grown up and Scotty turns into like a psychopath. How good would that be?
That would be so sad.
Oh, I mean, that would be terrible. That would be sad.
I thought you were going to say he was going to become like a vigilante like Batman. And, like,
that too.
He's probably got money. I mean, Grandpa's gone too, so...
He'll be a pregnant cop. Take it over. Or, no, okay.
She's Commissioner Gordon. He's the new Batman. And it all takes place in Minnesota. I love it.
So many people are asking the same question that apparently no one really has the answer to. I think everyone has their theories.
The question on, like, why he wants all the money? Yeah.
Yeah, where did all the money go?
Right. I mean, and again, like, the movie's quick. So,
wow.
I mean, it's like an hour and a half, I think. It really flew by, so it didn't really give you too much time to, like, sit back and wonder about that. But I did think about it after the fact, where I was kind of like, what was the point of all this?
It got out of hand.
Very much so, yeah.
That's what I mean. I just feel like acting now is like, oh my god, this happened, and then that happened. And, like, you would typically see that from the victim's point of view, but in this movie you saw it from the killer's point of view. Like, Steve Buscemi was, like, slowly losing his mind, and obviously Silent Man was too, but he was silent.
That's very true. You really don't get a lot of victim perspective. That's a good point.
No, because Jerry isn't really the victim, right? He's equally the perpetrator.
Yeah.
And do you ever watch Shameless with him?
No, I heard it's really good though.
So I love him in that.
Yeah.
And then one of the things I was reading about with this part is apparently they were going to give this part to, is it Richard Dreier?
Oh.
It was somebody else, and William H. Macy was so adamant. He was like, I need to be Jerry. This is me. I'm Jerry. And he, like, apparently, like, flew to the Coen brothers and was like, this is serious. You need to, like, get me. Give it to me. Give me. And I just feel like, you know, actors play themselves, Katie.
Oh.
And
don't tell Marge
I
that.
just feel like on Shameless, like, he's also this kind of like conniving, skeevy guy. And then with recent scandals with all the SAT stuff. William H. Macy was a part of that.
What?
Felicity Huffman, his wife, I don't know if she went to jail, but they tried to pay for their kids to get into college.
Wasn't that the thing with Aunt Becky too?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so he was a part of that, and somehow he was like, I didn't know my wife was doing this. I'm like, oh, get the out of here, Jerry. We all know.
William H. Macy's like, I hired Steve Buscemi and the Silent Guy to go take the SATs for my kid to get into Harvard, and everything backfired. And now everyone I love is dead.
But he plays these characters, and I guess even in real life, he's like this, gimme, and it just it's so weird. He's such a likable person that I don't want to stop watching. This is the shameless part. But he's such a skeeve ball. I was just so annoyed by him the entire movie. I was like, Jerry, shut up, Jerry, shut up.
Well, because he's a very stereotypical car salesman. Sorry if you're a car salesman, but
so sorry, car salesman.
Get it together, because it's very sad, but he does the whole, I'm going to talk around the question, or I'm not going to answer your question, and instead I'm going to talk about something else that's going to distract you from getting your answer, and I hope it works. Or how he does the whole or the one guy is yelling at him about, I didn't want a true coat, and he's like, well, the true coat comes with blah blah, and he's like, okay, but we already talked about this, and he was like, yeah, but true coat, and he was like, we already talked about this, and I was like, oh my God, everyone's been in that scenario.
He curses at him.
Yeah, he does.
I want the true coat.
Yeah, and then Jerry's like, let me go talk to my manager, and he literally walks, goes to the room, which again, no offense, car salesman, but this is how I imagine this goes down, because I've been in these scenarios, and I'm like, are you talking to a wall? Is it a mannequin? I don't know. Mm-hmm. And he's just like, hey, going to the Gophers game? And then he's like, maybe. And then he comes back, he's like, well, I got a deal. And I'm like, oh my God, so skeezy. I hate it.
The worst.
Ugh.
The worst. So, one thing we have to really, really, really talk about on a completely other end of the scheme was the really weird dude that met up with Frances McDormand to have drinks and tried to sit next to her and cried. And said his wife died when he never had a wife. And what was that about?
See, that's why this time around I started to think, maybe a theme in this movie is to appreciate your life, because it could be so much worse. And I wondered if that's why that scene was in there, because I was like, I don't understand.
I didn't understand that man. We need to find his name.
I swear to God, I watched this movie, but there's still a lot of questions. So Frances McDormand goes to stay overnight in a hotel one night because it's the same town that these crimes...
Minnesota. She goes into Minnesota. Because there was a call, the Shep call. The killers talked to Shep.
So she stays overnight in the hotel to say, hey, I'm going to follow up on that lead in that town.
Yeah.
But that is also the night she goes to have dinner with the guy.
Yeah.
So do you think she really was there to follow on the lead, or do you think she was there for the dinner?
I got that vibe too. She was being a little
I didn't know.
I mean, she did fluff her hair and was really excited.
And she wore a nice shirt. Yeah.
She did.
I mean, and she didn't act like she was into it, but I didn't really understand. I was like, wait, what? You could have just drove there the next day. I don't think you needed to stay overnight. Or maybe you did. I don't know how far away it is. I don't know geography. I'm not sure.
His name was Mike. That was the character's name.
Mike.
She had dinner. Yeah, she definitely had this I wouldn't mind getting attention from you vibe. She wanted to get her flirt on.
I guess. But then very quickly she was like, abort, abort, abort. It's oh my God. I love how I don't even remember what she says, but when he does try to sit next to her and she's like, no, I'd like you over there, please, or whatever. I'm like, that's a good line. I gotta remember
I want
that.
to see your face. I want to see your face when
I
I'm
know,
talking
but
to you, not turn my neck.
Because it was nice.
Well, and then she had to apologize to him. She's like, oh no, I'm sorry. Oh, don't be sorry. Oh no. It was just, ay, ay, ay.
Yeah, and then he goes, always liked you so much. And she's like, oh, okay. Frances McDormand has great, silent acting.
Her eyes. She says a lot with her, eyebrows and eyes.
Yes. When she's talking to the two prostitutes.
Oh my God, I love them.
I don't even know what they're just rambling and like about how they kind of went to college. I feel like that wasn't even a question asked to them, and they're just talking about that. And then she's just standing there like, yeah, and her eyes are so wide, but she's like trying to smile and be nice. Oh my God. So funny. She's like, oh, he's funny looking, huh? Anything else? And they're like, no. I'm like, oh my God. People.
Okay, Kate, I just read something.
Okay.
So the purpose of Mike is it serves as a moment of realization for Marge. What we're told and what we see on a person's exterior is not always the truth.
Oh, so that could be like
that's why
Jerry.
She went back to Jerry and was like, something doesn't seem right. Let me go back. And that's when she comes in and she's like, hey, I want to stop by again.
That's so interesting.
I didn't get that right away.
Definitely
I really
not.
didn't.
No, I really thought it was like she was thinking like, oh, maybe I'll see Mike. And then she was like, Mike's fucking crazy. I gotta appreciate my life because my husband gets me Arby's.
It makes me eggs in the morning.
Oh my God. And, so sweet.
His mallard is on the 3-cent stamp.
I know. It's very sweet. Yeah, I was like, this is great. Keep the food coming. I'm all about it. I am all about it.
Yeah, but ironically with like Steve Buscemi, he did get to a point because I think I read he had like 150 lines.
Wow.
Where Silent Man had 16.
Yeah, oh my God.
And I wasn't really annoyed by him, but I mean, Kate, you know me, I like to talk, so maybe I was like, well, he's not that annoying. But literally, the scene when he was fixing the TV, then it broke me. I was like, I'm gonna kill you now. Now I wanted him to shut up. So it was like, it was interesting flip-flopping on, oh, Steve Buscemi's right. This guy doesn't say anything. He stinks. He's annoying, blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, he's crazy. And then the other way around where you're like, okay, now Steve Buscemi's like really annoying.
Yeah. I love when he takes like, it's just a random scene where I think he's with an escort or something.
Yes.
And they're at this like weird, I don't even know. It was like a
like
nightclub.
Concert hall?
Yeah, like it was something. And he's like talking to her and he just keeps asking her these like weird questions like, you ever been here? And she's like, no. And he's like, how long you been working for the escort service? And then she literally turns to him, she goes, what are you talking about? She's like, what? Why are you talking so much? And then it like cuts to them, I think in like a motel or something gross. But yeah, he just, I don't know. Because in the beginning, when he is talking to Jerry, I was kind of on his side a little bit. Because again, he's saying to Jerry like, hey, your plan's kind of stupid. And like, this seems extreme. But like, whatever, I guess. I mean, he was kind of a jerk, but I felt like he didn't get on my nerves that much. And then when he was mean to the wife and like making fun of her when she was like trying to run away, didn't like that.
I didn't like that at all.
That's not nice. Your job is to fake kidnap, not real kidnap and then laugh at someone who's afraid. That's not your job.
Yeah, I don't like it.
There's also a part where, I don't know why I just thought of this, it just started my notes, where like Scotty is really upset because all of the trauma is happening thanks to his dad who sucks. And
pretty much
the dad is like talking to him and he's like, oh, don't worry, mom will be okay, you know, blah, blah.
Ooh, that was a good one.
Thanks. Nope. Yeah. Wasn't in there. And Scotty is like, what if something goes wrong? Because again, the whole story that's being told to him is there's these kidnappers and it's going to be very easy. We give them the money. They give her back. She's not going to get hurt. And he goes, what if something goes wrong? And he like pauses. And I was like, yes, Scotty, what if it does go wrong? Okay. We didn't think of any of these, as Dad would say, any of these Murphys.
Ooh,
coming up.
These are Murphys.
Y'all know what Murphys are? You ever heard of Murphy's Law?
Kate, tell us about it. Tell us about it.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You
Murphy's
darn
Law is, you know,
anything that could go wrong
will go wrong.
Yeah.
Will go wrong. Yeah, this movie should have just been called Murphy's Law because dang.
Yeah, well, and also, the kidnappers were never going to keep her alive. I mean,
guess?
Silent Man was crazy pants.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I also feel like with Jerry, the fact that all he had to do was get their phone number, I was like, this would have solved everything.
Yeah.
If you just got their phone number.
Yeah.
And said, hey, just to let you know, my father-in-law is like gonna be weird about this. So as a backup, give me your number.
Well, it's like what you said, though, because if we planned, he should have known that could have happened and should have prepared. Although, I still feel like the cops still would have been murdered, and so would those two random people, you know?
I didn't understand, like, why did they, like, fly off the road? I was confused.
I felt like they were maybe driving too fast, and maybe it was, like, icy. That's the only thing I could think of.
Okay.
And again, I didn't remember how that went down, because you see the, like, silent man speeding, and you see the other car's lights, and then the lights go out. So you're like, oh, maybe they're, like, tricking them. Like, they turned the lights off to trick them, but no, they flipped over. Ugh. And they died.
Do you think there's really two types of, like, killers in the world? There's, like, the Steve Buscemi's and Silent Mans?
Maybe. I mean, the Silent Man is scary because it's unpredictable.
He's so scary. I was so scared of him.
But Steve Buscemi is more like, he felt like just reactionary.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was going to kill anyone in the beginning, and then it was kind of like, he just kept getting annoyed at people. So then it was like, it escalated so much at the end. He even killed the parking attendant. What the heck did that guy do?
I have no idea.
He should have just sped through the thing. Why did you even stop for a piece of wood? I'm confused. People drive through that all the time. Well, maybe not all the time, but like enough of the time.
I don't know. I think your whole thing on like just appreciate what you have is a new knowledge to me, because I feel like the whole killers, like, I still didn't understand their motive either, because they just were crazy people.
And I guess wanted money?
And what a shame, because now there's $1 million in a suitcase just stuck in Bernhard, whatever.
Somewhere.
And apparently there's a whole story that some woman tried to go find that case. I mean, it's a movie, I know, but like, because the movie in the beginning said it was a true story, this woman like tried to find it and like died or something.
But wasn't it based off of a true story?
So that's actually a Coen brothers like sneaky thing. This actually isn't a true story at all. That was a lie in the beginning.
What?
Yes.
Wait.
And they even lied to the actors saying it was a true story. And eventually, like, told people later on.
Why did they put that in there?
Because they wanted you to, like, get fooled.
It worked. Because
I know!
Like,
so there are true stories that were inspirational. So there was a guy that literally killed his wife in a wood chipper. That's a real story.
Okay.
And there was some other story of someone being kidnapped for money. But there were all these, like, haphazard random things. Nothing tied together. So, yeah. So the whole, based on a true story, the beginning of the movie, whatever the heck they say in the beginning, like, the events are true and out of respect for the dead.
Yeah, it was, like, based on a true story in 1987. This happened in Minnesota or something.
Mm-hmm. The other thing because I always take this away now living in the Midwest, is just everyone being so polite. And this whole, like, they're just constant, like, think of it today. Today, Frances McDormand would be like, the killers are out there! We gotta go right now! And instead she was like, well, I'm just taking a drive around Moose Lake. You know, it's really pretty.
Gonna go to Arby's on the way home.
You know, I was sitting at Arby's thinking to myself, Mose always tells me this line is like, because you know how hyper I am and you know how calm he is, so clearly I'd be the Steve Buscemi in our criminal world. But,
oh no.
And he'd be Silent Man, so everyone would be afraid. But literally, he always tells me this. He's like, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. And she kind of had that vibe.
Yeah.
Like, she didn't get, like, anxious or crazy. She kind of was, like, slowly getting further and not outwardly being worried. Just kind of like, oh, well, you know, like, I don't know. It's just so fascinating to me. Like, she had one pace the whole time.
And even when she found the guy, the Silent Man at the end, she wasn't, like, freaking out. She was just, like, cool as a cucumber. And she was like, I'm a cop. And he didn't hear her for, like, a while because it's loud. And then she points to her badge on her head. Was like, hello, stupid.
I don't know if well, that's probably why I'm not a cop, because I would wait for people to come and then, like, get them.
She should have just shot him in the leg there, but I don't know what the police protocol is, because she probably was following it.
She was probably following protocol.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those movies that clearly you have to pay attention to, and or even if you pay attention, you may still have questions like me. But
okay, 1996, this got so much hype. It was like, people still are like, this is the best film of all time. First of all, Roger and Ebert lost their mind. They were like, this is the best film of all time. This is why I watch movies. I don't know if I would give it that. No. But I would watch it again.
I'd watch it again. I'd like to watch it with someone who hasn't seen it because it is different than other movies. And it is, I would say it's unpredictable too.
It is.
Like, you really can't see how everything's going to go down. Or if you have an inkling, you don't know how it's going to go down. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the Coen brothers, they also did No Country for Old Men, right?
Right.
So this is like so their style, you know, that like all of a sudden just quick chaos without any warning.
Mm-hmm.
Oy, oy, oy. I'm like looking up Frances McDormand quotes, and I was like, oh, so that was Mrs. Lundegaard on the floor in there, and I guess that was your accomplice in the wood chipper, and those 3 people in Bernard. And for what? A little bit of money? There's more to life. A little money, you know. Don't you know that?
Don't you know that? Yeah.
Really? I would be so afraid to be in the car with him, and she's like giving him like a mother lecture.
I
like,
know.
What?
So funny.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I still like when she's eating all the food. She's sitting in there with the husband and the guy. I forget what it is exactly, but it was like something about, the call. It was like when they find out there was a call made and it was about the car and it was to this guy. And she goes, oh, geez, that's a good lead. But like you said, she's just chill. She just keeps eating. She's like, we'll deal with it tomorrow.
So many Arby's sandwiches were eaten in this filming.
I know. You got Arby's all over me.
Oh, jeez. You got your Arby's.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would watch it again. I just, it's not long. So that's always nice.
It's not long. It's if you want something different. But it's funny. I went into it because I really didn't remember watching this, honestly. Like, I couldn't pick memories of this movie. And people were like, the brutal, over-the-top movie. And I'm like, well, it's like 1986 brutal. Like,
yeah,
the acts of it were terrible, but we see such, like, insane CGI and blood and guts. And, like, there was some of that.
Yeah, we watched Saw.
Yeah, we did.
Don't forget.
Yeah.
Listeners, if you've never seen this one and you're going to watch it for the first time, send us your mini review and let us know what you think, because that would be fun.
Ooh, that would be so fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Don't you know?
You're darn tootin' we'll put it on this podcast.
Well, I did try to get a dad quote, but for some reason, he drew a blank. However, I think I can get a mom quote.
Ooh.
So let's go get that, don't you know?
You're darn tootin'.
It's gonna be a live one, though, so don't you know?
Hey.
Hello.
Hello. Hey, hey.
Oh, you look so relaxed.
I am relaxed.
Well, good, because we're gonna really jolt you.
Okay.
Well, we watched the movie Fargo. So what's your thoughts on Fargo?
Such a good movie.
Yeah.
Don't you know it's such a good movie?
Oh, for Pete's sake.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Margie. Yeah. Oh, Margie. I love Margie.
She's good.
I like that she just eats her way through the entire movie.
I know. Every scene, I was like, yeah.
She's just so hungry for mass quantities of food.
It's a lot of Arby's.
And her husband, I love him. He makes her all the food. He's such a good guy. Yeah, he is. Don't you know?
Oh, yeah.
Don't you know? There you go. Perfect.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Oh,
okay.
See ya. That's very fitting that Mom loves the pregnant lady after all her children. Well, it's that time, Kate.
Okay.
And listeners, I'm going to get you an inside scoop.
Oh, jeez.
Because...
for Pete's sake.
I'm not going to agree with you there. Katie always tells me, listen, let's change it up and do this and do that. Let's think of this and let's think of that. So sometimes these are totally, totally random. And then other times they're more in a direction of a theme. And Katie said to me, we need to do something scary. And I said, awesome. I have the perfect movie. And that's what you listened to last week, The Dark Crystal. And then she reminded me that that's not scary, and I'm a big wussy pants, and I need to step up my game. So, are you ready to get scared?
Yes.
I'm talking scary.
Yes.
I'm talking, and actually, there was a scene in Fargo that was inspired by this movie.
Oh, that's so interesting.
It was.
Huh.
And
okay.
It was when they kidnapped her.
Okay.
She's in the bathroom, and they're trying to get in.
Okay. There's like a couple movies pop in my head, but okay.
It's from 1980. The one.
Uh-huh.
The only. It's Johnny!
The Shining?
The Shining!
Here's Johnny!
Oh, it's Here's Johnny.
Yeah, I was like, what?
The game show is Johnny! Sorry. See, I don't watch them.
I thought
this is not good.
Because you could have also gone in the direction of Psycho because she hid in the shower and so I wasn't sure.
No, it was when they were cracking open the door and they were like sticking their little heads in.
Yes. Okay, this is a good one for winter. This is a good winter one. There's a lot of snow up in there. Isolation.
So if you guys are depressed and want to be more depressed, we're just jam-packing episodes because...
This is not a depressing movie. This is entertaining.
Excuse me. All of these are depressing and scary. It's about, like, a man losing his mind. I mean, that's kind of what Fargo was with Silent Man.
Yeah, but, like, in the horror movie, good wins, kind of.
Kate, if I have nightmares, I swear to God, you're gonna have to up it after this, because...
Have you ever seen this, though? I feel like you must have.
I have, but I hide under a blanket, I overeat celery and carrots because I need emotional eating, and I'm scared.
Okay, watch it with the lights on, watch it with Mose and Penny, and if Penny starts telling you about her imaginary friend that tells her things, then you need to panic. But other than that, you good.
She's like, wigwams.
Oh, that would be so cute if she did that. See, I wouldn't even be afraid of that. I'd be like, are you talking? Who's talking to me? Aww.
So,
but this is like, you gotta remember, this is also Stanley Kubrick, which is very, very good filmmaker, who his style is like a slow burn, so you're not gonna have a lot of jump scares. In fact, I don't even think there's many, if at all, in this movie. I'm excited
thinking about it. I'm scared thinking about it.
I'm excited. On Bridge, that episode's gonna come out my birthday week. Did you do that for me?
I did do it for you. Happy birthday. Well, I realized I wasn't actually picking scary movies after you told me, because The Dark Crystal sounded scary.
Well, it's also a children's movie, but sure. I guess when I think of a scary movie, I think of like for adults.
Horror. It's like actually categorized as horror. That's what I'm learning.
Yeah.
Which shouldn't be a hard thing to learn, but I avoid these things.
Okay, well.
So how do you not get scared? Or do you actually like to be scared?
I mean, to some degree, I guess I do, but I've seen this movie a lot. I also read this book. This book did scare me.
Really?
And the parts that scared me were the parts that, of course, were not in the movie. But I'll talk about that next episode. Because I love Stephen King, man. This is our first Stephen King movie.
Wowie wowie.
Oh, we need to do more. See? Bridget! Okay.
Well, Kate, I want to let you know that if I was passing by an Arby's on my way to find mass murderers, I'd get you a sandwich.
Oh, don't you know, that'd make me happy. Oh. Well, and Bridge, if you were, Steve Buscemi driving me around in a car and you just kept talking forever, I would answer back more than the silent guy. So
wait, you wouldn't stick me in a wood chipper, right?
Definitely not. No. And also, listeners, if you do not approve of wood chipper murders, I'm talking like Moira now.
Yeah. I was like,
sorry.
David.
If you are a bebe and you like movies... Okay, I can't do that. Listeners, if you like us and you like what you hear here, don't you know, and you like Arby's and all, you should leave us a review. We love reviews. We love 5-star reviews and written reviews.
Oh yeah,
on Apple Podcasts. So I'm gonna cringe.
If you're a leprechaun or down the street, your butt
so painful listening to this editing.
It's so painful.
But in all serious, listeners, if you do like us, please leave us a review. We appreciate it so much, and it makes us really happy when we read new ones. It's the best.
Well, and we're starting, which I didn't pick it for this time, but we're starting to get movie picks.
Yes.
From our extremely amazing listeners. You know how amazing you are, and I hope this one listener knows I'm just talking to you.
Talking to you.
Okay? Don't worry about what our brother says. We're talking to you. Okay? And I feel like that could be on the agenda soon.
Oh,
Don't you think? Don't you know?
Oh, don't you know? Oh, yeah. So we love to hear from you guys. We do obviously have a website as well. You can go to sisterswhoseenit.com. You can connect with us. We have our email on there. We also have a form you can fill out if you would like to request a movie for us to do.
Mm-hmm.
So we love that. We love all of that. And, you know, it's a new year. So we're going to keep on. We're keeping on moving, y'all. It's just... It keeps trying, but...
Do you think your, scary movie would be forcing to speak in this accent for the rest of your life? Like, that would be your horror film?
Oh, yeah. Because I don't be able to say, 2 words correctly. So I would turn into the Silent Man. That would be my origin story.
Wait, do you think he, showed up and he was like, I can't do the accent? And they're like, great, you're going to have 16 lines. Don't worry about it.
I hope so, because that's amazing, and I relate.
My backstory is I can't do accents. They're like, good, you're the psychopath.
I don't know, but I love that.
Okay.
All right, listeners.
I love you.
We love you. I love you, Bridge.
I love you. And I would, if you were pregnant and got your call early and had to go get the killers, I'd make you eggs.
Thanks. I'd do the same for you, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, don't you know. All right, bye listeners, we love you.
Love you, listeners. We'll see y'all next week for The Shining. Yep, psycho music, but yes.
Oh, oops. Whatever. Bye, guys.
We love you.
Bye. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Sisters Who Seen It. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Check out our website at sisterswhoseenit.com, where you can email us, request movies to be reviewed, and keep up to date with all things sisters. Also, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. See you next week.